Sally YouTube. I hope that this video finds you guys doing well and that you're having a really nice holiday period so far. And thanks for joining me for this video because we are going to vision for 2021 and set some goals and yeah, give you an insight into what I'm up to next year hopefully, and planning out a little bit of my life in general, because oh my gosh, what was 2020? Seriously, like what was that? Wow, what a year. I'm not even going to go back on last year's video for my goals that I set because I don't think it's even worth it, because it was just made in a context that feels like a lifetime ago now. So we're gonna clean the slate, start from scratch, and with a lot more optimism look at 2021. Look, I know that the pandemic is still going on. I know that there's going to be recession. I know that times are not going to be easy necessarily next year, but I do feel hopeful that we'll get back to France, hopeful that we'll be vaccinated, all of that good stuff. And so yeah, just trying to look at 2021 with as much positive energy, optimism, and hope as we possibly can. And I'm excited to take you through what that looks like for me, and hopefully hear from you in the comments as well what this will look like for you. And just before we do though, in case you haven't been following along religiously, I wanted to give you an insight into the year that was. Let's do a little bit of a review of 2020. I don't want to give it too much time, but basically what you need to know is that 2020 was the year of my career. It was the year of my business really starting up badass careers. It was really important for me for that to be the focus for a few main reasons. The first is that I quit my Fortune 500 9-to-5 corporate role and corporate career, and I wanted to prove to myself that I could make this work for myself. And the other reason, of course, that it was such a big focus for me is that I found my why. This is my mission. Like, one of the things that I'm here to do is to help people feel happier, more fulfilled, more energized at work. So while this business gave me a lot of joy and success, and I grew and so many amazing things happened with it over the course of the year, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it took everything I had. All of the other areas of life, I would say, kind of depleted, as I was just basically giving everything I could to making this work. So it was a very mono theme year for me. But just the highlight reel of a few things that have gone really well. So Badass Careers has welcomed in over 200 clients. So I've helped over 200 clients to find their purpose and land their dream job, which has been incredible. I've also hired my best friend, and I hired a part-time video editor as well. So the little empire that I have built is starting to grow. Another highlight is that back in New Zealand, I have a lot more nature in my life. I do, kayaking, walking with Niels, hikes, tramping, campaign. We're doing more and more stuff in nature together, so that's a huge positive for me. I'm actually getting weekends now, which I haven't been in the longest time. I completed my career coaching certification in neuroscience, which I absolutely loved. About 6 weeks ago, I also started dance classes, so pole fitness, which I'm really loving. And then last but certainly not least, the other highlight of 2020 is that we got Bonbon. Bonbon is our cat who we love very much. And of course, we're lucky in New Zealand. We were in lockdown for about 7 weeks and that's it. Otherwise, it has been life as usual. Aside from the fact that we haven't been able to travel internationally, life really does remain relatively undisruptive. Socializing, being able to travel, no masks, that kind of stuff. So that's a little bit of my year at a glance. And now I'm going to walk you through the wheel of life, so lots of different slices and areas of my life, and tell you what I'm planning to get up to in 2021. And what I would recommend is that if you want to follow along with me and set your own goals in each area, here's what I did first. So first, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Firstly, how do I want to feel at the end of 2021? See what words come up for you. For me, it was words like energized, lighthearted, healthy. Then I want you to list all the reasons why that's so important to you, why it's important that you feel that way. And then I want you to journal on who do you want to be by the end of 2021, because this groundwork that you do will allow you to prioritize and realize which goals are actually going to shift the dial for you. Okay, so let's start on the personal growth slice of the wheel of life, and we'll end on romance. So personal growth. So I'm a learning animal. I love to learn. I'm very curious. I love to be growing and expanding. I'm always into self-development. I always have some kind of coach. Like, I invest in my development. However, for the last year, it's just been business, business, business. I feel like it's been really monotopic, but now it's time for me to expand my mind and actually get some good chat back. So my goal is to read 3 books per month on topics other than business, on topics that I want to learn more about and gain some skills and expertise in outside of the business world. And I know that 3 books sounds like a lot, but I'm actually kind of cheating because I'm going to be using the app Blinkist. So if you're the kind of person that loves to learn and soak in new knowledge and it's always on that sort of quest to be their best self and you want that to be you in 2021, then Blinkist is an app that you really have to know about, especially if you're as busy as I am. So Blinkist are the sponsors of today's video, so there's a really great deal which I'll explain to you a little bit later. But basically what they've done is genius. They've taken 3,000 plus non-fiction books and they've consolidated them into 15-minute blinks. So both written and podcast style. And they also now have transcribed podcasts and audiobooks as well in the app. And basically any non-fiction book you've wanted to read, anything you want to learn about, you'll find it on the app. It's absolutely so good. Some books that I've really enjoyed recently have been A Life on Our Planet by David Attenborough, because even though it is confronting, it provides hope for the future. And then in terms of personal development titles, I also recently liked Smart Girls Screw Up Too by Bella Zanesco. So a couple of knowledge areas that I'll be focusing on for 2021 include health, so anything around health and well-being, mental well-being as well, anxiety, and the psychology of eating. And another area that I really want to learn more about as well is money and finances, because I know I do some stuff that works, but you know, really in terms of getting smart with money, I really want to empower myself in that area too. So if you want to come and join me and 14 million other users on the platform, then go and click the link down below, blinkist.com/notevenfrench. You'll have a 7-day free trial of Blinkist Premium. You can cancel anytime. You'll have unlimited access. And if you want in, you'll also get 25% off the full membership as well. One other thing that I did want to add into the personal growth area is that I want to spend at least 3 hours per week listening to or speaking French. So that's around about my goal, around about a 3-hour average. So I can do this through reading, I can do it through watching series, and of course I can do it through speaking as well. But I really don't want to see my level of French diminish over time, so that's going to be an area of focus for me as well in 2021. I'm going to lump fun and recreation and physical environment together because they're kind of the same thing for me, because I have a lot of my fun and recreation in the outdoors in New Zealand, and basically my goal here is just to have more of it. I was thinking about it and I was like, wow, in France I used to get 7-8 weeks of annual leave per year, and I've barely taken a holiday since arriving back in New Zealand. Like, yeah. And to be quite honest guys, like fun and recreation, for the past 3 years I've been working essentially 60+ hours a week. And I'm kind of tired because I was in my busy full-time job at L'Oreal, which was hectic. And then on top of that, I started doing Not Even French, and I dedicate about 15 to 20 hours to this channel when I'm on it full-time, putting out a video every single week. So it is like a part-time job, literally on top of my full-time work. And I've been really consistent with Not Even French, and then I started Badass Careers, and then I dropped down to about 1 video per month for a while there because I was working 80+ hours a week on Badass Careers. But I've been working really long hours for a really long time, and I haven't prioritized fun, recreation, hobbies, just relaxing without the agenda of productivity. You know, like, it's been a while, so I want to have more of it, and I am setting myself the goal of having 4 weeks in 2021 of disconnected holiday where I am not on my phone, not on my laptop. So just enjoying life. Now, when it comes to my career or business for me, my goals are very much around scaling, so touching more people, growing my platforms, all of that good stuff, without burning out, without more workload. So finding this balance of reaching more people and doing more things using the foundations that we have optimizing, streamlining, using what we have, making it even better, touching more people, more lives, all the while keeping workload about the same, even a little bit less. So that's the big goal for my career. And when it comes to the finances, it's kind of linked. So I don't necessarily have any big financial goals in terms of saving for anything in particular. You guys know we already bought our house here, so for me it's more around, you know, financial health is going to come from business health. So it's going to be about making sure that I can actually start paying myself consistently through Badass Careers, which I haven't been able to do up until this point. I've basically been consulting and doing Not Even French, and meanwhile everything that Badass Careers has generated has been invested back into the business. So I would like to start balancing that out a little bit more, but apart from that, yeah, it's kind of intertwined there. Now this slice of the wheel of life is probably the biggest for me, because when I think about how I really want to feel by the end of 2021, the word that just keeps coming up for me is healthy. So as I said, I've been working 60+ hours per week for the past 3 years while trying to be a good partner, be a good friend, be a good family member, like, you know, stay sane, like just trying to juggle all the balls of life. And it's been quite all consuming. And to be honest, I consistently put myself last, and my health has really suffered as a result. Over the past 3 years, I've slowly but surely exercised less, stress eaten more, and yeah, have been also experiencing quite a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. So it's kind of wrapped up into a bundle for me. It's health both in terms of mental health and physical health, and of course they both affect each other. So for me, what hasn't worked for me in the past is having outcome goals like weight. Like, I want to weigh this. I don't know if it doesn't work for me because it seems so far away, or it just seems, I don't know, insurmountable or too late, or all of those kinds of things. And so it's like, you know, I struggle to break big goals into little baby steps, and which I know you should do, but the thought of like, oh, I'm gonna lose 1 kg, that doesn't excite me, you know? So it's like, it's hard to find the balance. So I'm ditching that approach and I'm going more for process goals. And so my process goals look like, for me, I want to go to my dance classes consistently at least twice per week on average. So some weeks it might be once, some weeks it might be 3 times, but it's a 2 times per week average that I'm going to my pole fitness classes. On top of that, I've said that I want to eat just healthy, nourishing food at least 5 days a week. Why only 5 days a week? Because I find, especially with the culture in New Zealand on weekends and stuff, there are brunches, you meet up with your friends for an iced coffee, you have an ice cream down by the beach. Like, there's a lot of treat food, a lot of junk food, a lot of brunching and dining, and like, you know, we like our desserts, we're real sweet tooths in New Zealand. So I feel like the weekends are kind of hard. So what I kind of mean by that is 5 days a week where my meals are just like really nutritious, not too much refined sugar, and it's like a healthy day, my definition of a healthy day. And then all of this, the big kicker, boom, 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 is on average a 40-hour work week. And I'm actually going to add Not Even French into that, because it's still work preparation and I'm on my screen, I'm editing, you know, it's like I'm on the phone, on my laptop, on camera. It's like in this digital realm, and it feels, it's fun, but my work's fun too. It's all fun, but it feels more like work. So I'm going to try and do Badass Careers and Not Even French in 40 hours a week so that I can have my evenings and weekends back. Honestly, by doing that, it will be game changing for me, because I'll have time and space and energy to look after myself, do self-care, exercise, you know, like everything is all related to each other, right? Now, when it comes to family and friends, the big goal for us in 2021 is to get back to France. We want to see our family and friends over in France for at least a month. We'll see if we can negotiate even more with Niels' workplace. And that's just the main goal. I also have another goal, which is kind of embarrassing to say out loud, but I'd like to make 1 new friend. Not for any other reason other than I've been very antisocial this year, very tunnel vision, and I haven't really fostered relationships with the people I've met. So I've met some cool people, some new people, but I haven't put any time or effort into making those relationships grow into friendships. And I would like to, you know, if it happens naturally, of course, make a new friend in 2021 and invest myself into a new relationship. And last but certainly not least, on the romance side of things. So as I'm sure you've picked up on, I would like to spend more time with Niels and more quality time, not just day-to-day routine stuff. So a few things are making sure that I'm finished working by dinner time so that we always like cook and eat together and we wind down together in the evenings without me having to run off and do some emails and stuff like that. And one goal that I'm setting myself in this department is that I would like to do a kind of like, not date night necessarily, but date type activities, which means like it's just him and I doing something out of the ordinary together twice per week. So this might mean going for a longer hike, it might mean going to the cinema, it might be whatever it is, but it's carving out space for us to do 2 different activities together per week. So that is the insight into my life, my world for 2021. I would love to hear what you think about these goals. I'd love to hear what you think about what I have going on, and I'd love to hear from you as well on like, what are your big goals for 2021? How do you want this year to look for you? Which area of the wheel of life is going to be your main focus? Mine's health personally, and then romance as well. So do you have any main area of the wheel of life that you really want to succeed in 2021? And yeah, I'm just looking forward to hearing from you, as I always am, in the comment section down below. And otherwise, if you're still here, I wish you a very, very happy new year. I hope that 2021 brings you everything that you're dreaming of. And I will, of course, catch you here next week and therefore next year on the Not Even French channel. So I'll see you then. A bientôt!